Welcome to another week of On the Couch with Dan and Dane. Today we're going to talk about a location that's actually grown over the top of another location, which to me seemed a bit left field when it came in. So it is Melbourne versus Brisbane, and Brisbane's median house price is actually $787,000, whereas Melbourne's only $780,000. And why is that, Dan? Why is that?
It all comes down to the fundamentals of economics, right? Supply and demand. So if you think about what's been happening in Brisbane or southeast Queensland, particularly if you think like post-COVID era, there's been a huge amount of population that's been coming up to southeast Queensland, whilst at the same time, right, like we're not saying Melbourne's going backwards, like the population's not going backwards, but when there is so much growth going up into a different area, someone's got to be the loser, right?
Yeah.
And it's really traditional. It's very much known that when you have international migration, lots of it does go into like your Melbournes and your Sydney originally, and then gradually over time it moves its way north into southeast Queensland, and that's where we got a lot of interstate migration growth. But does it mean that Melbourne's shit? Like, is Melbourne like the weather's crap, but is like Melbourne now? Should we stay away from Melbourne? I suppose is the sentiment that I'm providing.
No, 100% no. I think I still entrust in the Melbourne market. I think it's a very great location to go into. It's all about fitting your metrics, though. So it's a great, it's a great factor that Brisbane has grown, and it's had record migration rates coming in, especially at post-COVID. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right. So, but mate, any other pointers on it?
Oh, mate, it's one of those things. If you stick to blue chip locations, right, focus your way around capital cities, your Brisbane's, your Sydney, your Melbourne, like it's still going to continue to perform at a really high level. It might just be that at this point in the cycle, Queensland sort of pipped them at the post.
Yeah.
But come Melbourne Cup time this year, Melbourne might be back in front again.
Who knows? Just don't buy a property in Gladstone. All right. See you next week for another episode of On the Couch.